Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the role of Moth will be played by Richard King.
This is not the fashion to see the lady the prologue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lord the epilogue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true a good play needs no prologue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better by the aid of good prologues. What a case am I in then, that am neither a good prologue, nor cannot insinuate with you in the behalf of a good play. I am not furnished as a beggar, therefore to beg would not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering none of you hates them, that between you and the women this play may please. To that end, I beseech you, both men and women, to switch off all instruments of social intercourse, so that we who speak and you who listen may hear our play entire without disgrace. Thank you.
Let fame, that all hunt after in their lives, live registered upon our brazen tombs, and grace us in the disgrace of death. When, spite of cormorant devouring time, the endeavour of this present breath may buy that honour which shall bait his side's keen edge, and make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, the war against your own affections, and the huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world, our court a little academe, still and completive in living art. You three, Barone, Dumaine, and Longueville, have all sworn 3 years' term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths passed, and now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike his honour down that violates the smallest branch herein. If you're armed to do as sworn to do, subscribe your names and keep them too.
I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years fast, that mine shall banquet, though the body pine. Fat paunches of lean pates and dainty bits make rich the ribs, but make up quite the wits.
My loving Lord Dumaine is mortified. The grosser manner of these world's delights he throws upon the gross world's baser slaves. To love, to wealth, to pomp, I pine and die with all these living in philosophy.
I can but say that protestation over. So much, dear liege. I have already sworn, that is, to live and study here for 3 years, but there are strict observances, such as not to see a woman in that term, the which I hope well is not enrolled there, and but 1 day in a week to touch no food, and 1 meal on every day beside, the which I hope is not enrolled there, and then to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not to be seen to wink of all the day, when I was wont to think no harm all night, and make a dark night too of half the day, the which I hope well is not enrolled there. These are barren tasks, too hard to keep, not to see women, study, fast, not sleep.
Your oath is passed to pass away from these.
Let me say no, my liege, and if you please, I have only swore to study with your grace, and stay here in your court for 3 years' space.
You swore to that, Barone, and to the rest.
By yea and nay, sir, then I swore in jest. But what is the end of study? Let me know.
Why, that to know which else we should not know.
Things hidden barred, you mean, from common sense?
That is study's godlike recompense.
Well then, I will swear to study so, to know the thing I am forbid to know, to study where I well may dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid, or to study where to meet some mistress fine, mistresses from common sense are hid. If studies gain me thus, and this be so, study knows that, which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, and I will ne'er say no.
These be the stops that hinder study quite, and train our intellects to vain delight.
All delight is vain, and that most vain, with pain purchased off inherit pain, as painfully to pore upon a book, to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of his look. Study is like the heaven's glorious sun, not be deep searched with saucy looks, small of continual plodders ever one, save base authority from others' books. These earthly godfathers of heavenly lights, that give a name to every fixed star, have no more profit of their shining nights than those that walk and wot not what they are. Swear me to this, and I will ne'er say no.
Well, sit you out there and go home. Adieu.
Let me say no, my liege. I have sworn to stay with you. And though I have for barbarism spoke more than that angel knowledge you can say, yet confident I will keep what I've sworn, bide the penance of each 3 years' day. Give me the paper, let me read the same, and to the strictest decrees I'll write my name.
How well this yielding rescues thee from shame.
Item, that no woman shall be seen within a mile of my court. Hath this been proclaimed?
4 days ago.
Let's see the penalty. On pain of losing her tongue. Who devised this penalty?
Marry, that did I.
Sweet lord, and why?
But to fright them hence with that dread penalty.
Dangerous law against gentility. Item, that no woman shall be seen with a man within the space of 3 years' term, or else he shall suffer as much public humiliation as the rest of the court can possibly devise. This article, my liege, you yourself must break. But as you know, here comes in embassy the French king's daughter, with yourself to speak, a maid of grace and complete majesty, about surrender up of Aquitaine to her sick, decrepit, and bedrid father. Therefore, this article is made in vain, or else vainly come the admired princess hither.
What say you, lords? Why, this was quite forgot.
So study evermore is our shot. When study does the thing it would, it forgets to do the thing it should. Then, when it hath what it attempteth most, 'tis one as towns with fire. So won, so lost.
We must of force dispense this decree. She must lie here on mere necessity.
Necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times within this 3 years' space. For every man with his desires is born not by might mastered, but by special grace. Therefore to the laws at large I write my name, and he that breaks his oath shall stand in attainder of eternal shame. And though I know I seem so loath, yet confident I shall be the last man that would last break his oath. Just a no quick recreation granted.
Aye, that there is. Our court, you know, is haunted by a refined traveller of Spain, a man in all the world's new fashion planted, that hath a mint of phrases in his brain, one whom the music of his own vain tongue doth ravish like enchanting harmony, a man of compliments, both right and wrong, have chose as umpire of their mutiny. This child of fancy Amardo by name, for interim to our studies shall proclaim in high-born words the worth many a night from tawny Spain lost in the world's debate. How you delight, my lords, I know not I, but I protest. I love to hear him live, and I will use him for my comedy.
Costard the swain, and he shall be our sport. And so to study, 3 years is but short.
Which is the Duke's own person?
This fellow, what wouldest?
I myself reprehend his own person, for I am his grace's constable. But I would see his own person in flesh and blood.
Well, this is he.
Signor, I may commend you, sir. There's villainy abroad. This letter will tell you more.
So, the contents thereof are as touching me.
A letter from magnificent Amardo.
The matter of it is as concerning Jaquinetta. The manner of it is I was taken with the manner.
In what manner, sir?
Oh, in manner and form following, sir. I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting by her on a forum, and I was taken following her into the park, which put together is in manner and form following, sir. Now, as to the manner, well, 'tis the manner of a man to talk to a woman, and for the forum, well, in some form.
For the following, sir.
Oh, as it will be following in my correction, sir, and God defend the right.
Will you hear this letter with attention?
As we would hear an oracle.
It is a simplicity of man to hearken after the flesh.
Great deputy, the Welkin's vicegerent and sole dominator of Navarre, my soul's earth's god and body's fostering patron.
Nowhere in the cross-eyed yet.
So it is.
And it may be so, sir, but if he say it is so, then he is in telling truth. Just so.
Peace.
To me and to every man who dare not fight.
No words.
No, of other men's secrets I beseech thee.
So it is. Besieged with sable-coloured melancholy, I did commend the black oppressing humour to most wholesome physic of thy health-giving air. And, as I'm a gentleman, I took myself to walk, the time when, about the 6th hour, when men sit down for that nourishment which is called supper, so much for the time when, now for the ground which I mean I walked upon, is entitled Thy Park. Then for the place where I mean I did encounter that obscene and preposterous event, that draweth from the snow-white pen the ebon-coloured ink, which here thou viewest, beholdest, surveyest, or seest, but the place where it standeth, north-north-east, and by the east from the west corner of thy curious knotted garden. There did I see that low-spirited swain, that base minnow of thy mirth,
Me?
that unlettered, small knowing soul,
Me?
that shallow vassal,
Still me?
which, as remember, is named Costard,
Oh, me.
sorted and consorted, contrary to thy established proclaimed edict and consonant canon, which with the wench, with a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, or for thy more sweet understanding, a woman. Him I, as my ever-esteemed duty pricks me on, have sent to thee to receive the meed of punishment, by thy sweet grace officer, Anthony Dull, a man of good repute, carriage, bearing, and estimation.
Me, and it shall please you, I am Anthony Dole.
For Jacquinetta, so is the weaker vessel, called which I apprehended with the aforesaid swain. I keep her as a vessel of the law's fury, and shall, at the very least of thy sweet notice, bring her to trial. Thine in all compliments of devoted heart of burning heat of duty, Don Adriano Diamado.
This is not as well as I had hoped, but the best I have heard.
Aye, the best for the worst. But Cyril, what say you to this?
Sir, I confess the wench.
Did you hear the proclamation?
Oh yeah, I confess much to the hearing of it, sir, but little of the marking of it.
It was proclaimed a year's imprisonment to be taken with a wench.
Oh, no, I was taken with none, sir. I was taken with a damsel.
Well, it was proclaimed damsel.
Oh no, she was no damsel, sir. She was a virgin.
It is so very true, for it was proclaimed virgin.
If it were so, she was no virgin. No, I was taken with a maid.
This maid will not serve your turn, sir.
This maid will serve my turn, sir.
Sir, I will pronounce your sentence. You shall fast for a week with bran and water.
Oh, sir, I'd rather pray a month on mutton and porridge.
Don Amado shall be your keeper. My good Barone, see him to do it o'er. And go we, lords, to put into practice that which each to other has so strongly sworn.
Give my head to any good man's had these laws and oaths shall prove an idle scorn. Sirrah, come on.
I do suffer for the truth. For truth it is, I was taken with Jacquinetta, and Jacquinetta is a true girl. Therefore, I welcome the sour cup of prosperity. Affliction may one day smile again, but until that time, sit thee down, sorrow.
Boy, what sign is it when a man of great spirit grows melancholy?
A great sign, sir. The two will look sad.
Why? sadness is one and the same thing, dear imp.
No, oh Lord, sir, no.
How canst thou part sadness and melancholy, my tender juvenile?
By a familiar demonstration of the working, my tough senior.
Why tough senior? Why tough senior?
Why tender juvenile? Why tender juvenile?
I spoke it, tender juvenile, as a congruent epitheton appertaining to the young days, which we may nominate tender.
And I, tough senior, as an appurtenant title to your old time, which we may name tough.
Pretty and apt.
How mean you? I pretty and my saying apt, or I apt and my saying pretty?
Thou pretty, because little.
Oh, little pretty because little. Wherefore apt?
And therefore apt, because quick.
Speak you this in my praise, master?
In thy condign praise.
I'll praise Neil with the same praise.
What? That an eel is ingenious?
That your eel is quick.
I do say thou art quick in answers. Thou hittest my blood.
I am answered, sir.
I love not to be crossed. I have promised to study 3 years with the Duke. I will hereupon confess. I am in love. And as it is base for a soldier to love, I am in love with a base wench. Comfort me, boy. What great men have been in love?
Hercules, sir?
Most sweet Hercules. More authority, dear boy, name more. And, sweet my child, let them be men of good repute and courage.
Samson, master. He was a man of good carriage, great carriage, for he carried the town gates on his back like a porter. And he was in love.
Well knit Samson, strong jointed Samson. I do excel thee in my rapier as much as thou didst me in carrying gates. I am in love. Who was Samson's love, my dear moth?
A woman, master?
What complexion?
Of the seawater green, sir.
Is that one of the 4 complexions?
As I have read, sir, and the best of them too.
Green. Green indeed is the colour of lovers. But to have a love of that colour, methinks Samson had a small reason for it. He surely desired her for her wit.
It is so, sir, for she had a green wit.
My love is most immaculate, red and white.
Most immaculate thoughts, master, are masked under such colours.
Is there not a ballad, boy, of the king and the beggar maid?
The world was very guilty of such a ballad some 3 ages since. But I think now 'tis not to be found, or if it were, it would suit neither for the writing nor the tune.
I will have that subject newly written on, that I may example my digression by some mighty precedent. Boy, I do love that country girl that I took in the park with that rational jokel costard. She deserves better.
To be whipped, and yet a better love than my master.
Sing, boy. My spirit grows heavy love.
And that's a marvel, loving a light wench.
I say sing.
Forbear, let's company be past.
Sir, the Duke's pleasure is that you keep Costard safe, and you must allow him no delight nor no penance, but a must fast 3 days a week. For this damsel, I must keep her at the park. She's allowed there as a dairymaid. Fare you well.
I do betray myself with blushing. Maid,
Man?
I will visit thee at the lodge.
Oh, that's hereby.
I know where it's situate.
Lord, how wise you are.
I will tell thee wonders.
With that face.
I love thee.
So I heard you say.
And so, farewell.
Fair weather after you.
Come, Jacquinetta, away.
Villain, thou shalt fast for thy offences ere thou be pardoned.
Well, if I do it, sir, I hope I do it on a full stomach.
Thou shalt be heavily punished.
Then I shall be more bound to you than your fellows, as they are but lightly rewarded.
Take away this villain, shut him up.
Come, transgressing slave, away.
Oh, sir, let me not be pent up. I will fast, feed loose.
No, sir, that were fast and loose. Thou shalt to prison.
If ever I see the merry days of desolation that I have seen, some shall see.
What shall some see?
Why, nothing, Master Moth, but what they look upon. It is not for prisoners to be too silent in their words, and therefore I shall say nothing. I thank God I have as little confidence in as other men, and therefore I can keep quiet.
I do adore the very ground, which is base, where her shoe, which is baser, guided by her foot, which is basest, doth tread. I fell before sworn, which is a great argument of falsehood if I love. And how can that be true love, which is falsely attempted? Love is a familiar, love is a devil, there is no evil angel but love. Adieu, valor, rust, rapier, be still, drum, for thy manager is in love. Yea, he loveth. Assist me, sang extemporal god of rhyme, for I am sure I shall turn sonnet. Device, wait, write, pen, for I am for whole volumes in folio.
Now, madam, summon up your dearest spirits. Consider who the king your father sends, to whom he sends, and what's his embassy. Yourself, held precious in the world's esteem, to parley with the sole inheritor of all perfections that a man may owe, matchless Navarre, the plea of no less weight than Aquitaine, the dowry for a queen.
Good Lord Boyet, you are not ignorant. All telling fame doth noise abroad, Navarre hath made a vow, till painful study shalt wear 3 years, no woman may approach his silent court. Therefore it seemeth it a needful course, before we enter his forbidden gates, to know his pleasure, and in that behalf, bold of your worthiness, we single you as our best moving fair solicitor. Tell him, the daughter of the King of France, on serious business, craving quick dispatch, importunes personal conference with his grace. Haste signifies so much while we attend, like humble visaged suitors, his high will.
Proud of employment, willingly I go.
All pride is willing pride, and yours is so. Who are the votaries who are thou fellows with this virtuous duke?
Lord Longueville is one.
Know you the man?
I know him, madam. At a marriage feast in Normandy, Sir Ivis Longueville. A man of sovereign parts, it is esteemed. Nothing becomes him ill that he would well. The only sore in his fair virtue's gloss is a sharp wit, matched with too blunt a will, whose edge hath power to cut, whose will still wills it should none spare that come within his power.
Some merry mocking lord belike is so.
They say so most, that most his humours know.
Such short-lived wits do wither as they grow. Who are the rest?
The young Domain, a well accomplished youth. Of all that virtue loved for virtue loved, most power to do most harm, least knowing ill. For he hath wit to make an ill shape good, and shape to win grace, though he had no wit. I saw him at the Duke Alençon's once, and much too little of that good I saw is my report to his great worthiness.
Another of these students at that time was there with him, if I have heard a truth. Barone, they call him, but a merrier man, within the limits of becoming mirth, I've never spent an hour's talk with all. His eye begets occasion for his wit. For every object that the one doth catch, the other turns to Mirth-moving jest, the aged ears play truant at his tales, and younger hearings are quite ravishing. So sweet and voluble is his discourse.
God bless my ladies. Are they all in love? That everyone their own hath garnished head with such bedecking ornaments of praise?
Here comes Boyet.
Now what admittance, Lord?
Navarre had noticed of your fair approach, and he and his competitors in oath were all addressed to meet you, gentle lady, before I came. Marry, thus much I have learned. He rather means to lodge you in the field, like one that comes here to besiege his court and seek a dispensation for his oath to let you enter his unpeopled house. Here comes the party.
Fair princess, welcome to the court of Navarre.
Fair, I give you back again, and welcome I have not yet. The roof of this court is too high to be yours, and welcome to the wide fields, too base to be mine.
You are welcome, madam, to my court.
I will be welcome then, conduct me thither.
Oh, hear me, dear lady, I have sworn an oath.
Our Lady, help my lord. He'll be forsworn.
Not for the world, madam, but by my will.
Why, will shall break it, will and nothing else.
Your ladyship is ignorant what it is.
Well, my lord, so his ignorance were wise, when now his knowledge must prove ignorance. I hear your grace had sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. But, pardon me, I am too sudden bold. To teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe to read the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit.
I will, if suddenly I may.
You were the sooner that I were away, for you'll prove perjured if you make me stay.
Did not I dance with you in Brabant once?
Did not I dance with you in Brabant once?
Well, I know you did.
Well, how needless was it then to ask the question?
You must not be so quick.
'Tis long of you that spur me with such questions.
Your wit's too hot, it speeds too fast, 'twill tire.
Oh, not till it leave the rider in the mire.
What time of day?
The hour that fool should ask.
Now fair before your mast.
Fair fool the face it covers.
And send you many lovers?
And then so you be none?
No. Then I'll be gone.
Madam, your father here doth intimate the payment of 100,000 crowns, being but the one half of the entire sum disbursed by my father in his wars. But say that he or we as neither have received that sum, yet there remains unpaid 100,000 more, in surety of which one part of Aquitaine is bound to us, although not valued at the money's worth. If then the king, your father, will restore but that one half which is unsatisfied, we will give up our right in Aquitaine, and hold fair friendship with his majesty. But that it seems he little purposeth, for here he doth demand to have repaid 100,000 crowns, and not demands honour payment of 100,000 crowns to have his title live in Aquitaine, which we much rather had to part with all and have the money by our father lent than Aquitaine so gelded as it is. Dear princess, were not the quest so far from reason's yielding, your fair self should make a yielding gain some reason in thy breast, and go well satisfied to France again.
You do the king, my father, too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, in so unseeming to confess receipt for that which had so faithfully been paid.
Do protest I never heard of it. If you prove it, I'll repay you back or yield up Aquitaine.
We arrest your word. For yet you can produce acquittances from such a sum from special officers of Charles his father.
Satisfy me so.
Sir, please your grace, the packet is not come, where that and other specialties are bound. Tomorrow you shall have a sight of them.
It shall suffice me. At which interview I will yield unto all liberal reason. Meantime, receive such welcome at my hand as honour without breach of honour may make tender of to thy true worthiness. You may not come, fair madam, in my gates, but here without you shall be so received as you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart. Your own good thoughts and excuse me, farewell. Tomorrow shall I visit you again.
Sweet health and fair desires consort your grace.
Thy own wish I thee in every place.
Sir, I pray you a word. What lady is that, say?
The heir of Alençon. Catherine, her name.
A gallant lady. Monsieur, fare you well.
I beseech you a word. What is she in the white?
A woman sometime, and you saw her in the light.
Perchance light in the light. I desire her name.
She hath but one for herself. To desire that were a shame.
Sir, whose daughter?
Her mother's, I have heard.
God bless her beard.
Good sir, be not offended. She is an heir of Falconbridge.
Nay, my choler is ended. She is a most sweet lady.
Not unlike so, that may be.
Who is she in the cap?
Rosaline, my good hap.
Is she wedded or no?
To her will, sir, or so?
You're welcome, sir. Adieu.
Farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you.
That last is Barone, the merry man cup lord. Not a word with him, but a jest.
And every jest but a word.
It was well done of you to take him at his word.
I was as willing to grapple as he was to board.
Two hot sheep indeed.
Oh, and wherefore not ships? No sheep, sweet lamb, unless we feed on your lips.
You sheep and I pasture. Should that finish the jest?
Say you grant pasture for me.
Not so, my lord. My lips are no common ground, though open they may be.
Belonging to whom?
To my fortunes and me.
Good wits will be jangling, but gentles agree. This civil war of wits were much better used on Navarre and his bookmen, for here 'tis abused.
My observation, which very seldom fails, by the heart-still rhetoric disclosed with eyes, deceive me not now, Navarre is infected.
With what?
With that which we lovers entitle affected.
Your reason?
Why, all his behaviours did make their retire to the court of his eye, peeping thorough desire. His heart like an agate with your print impressed, proud in his form, in his eye, pride expressed. His tongue, all impatient to speak and not see, did stumble with haste in his eyesight to be. All senses to that sense did make their repair, to feel only looking on fairest of fair. His face's own margent did quote such amazes, that all eyes saw his eyes enchanted with gazes. I'll give you Aquitaine, and all that is his, and you give him for my sake but one loving kiss.
Come to our pavilion, Boyette is disposed.
He is an old love-monger, and speaketh skilfully. He's Cupid's grandfather, and learns news of him. With Venus like her mother, for her father is but man.
Do you hear, my mad wenches?
No.
What then do you see?
Higher way to be gone.
You are too hard for me.
Warble, child, make passionate my sense of hearing.
La 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 la.
Sweet air. Go, tenderness of years, take this key, give enlargement to the swain, bring him festinally hither. I must employ him in a letter to my love.
Master, will you win your love with a French dance?
How meanest thou? Dancing in French? How hast thou purchased this experience?
By my penny of observation. The hobby horse is forgot.
Callest thou my love hobby horse?
By no means, master. The hobby horse is but a colt, and your love perhaps a hack. But have you forgot your love?
Almost I had.
Negligent student, learn her by heart.
By heart and in heart, dear boy. Fetch hither this way. The way is but short. Away.
I go as swift as lead, sir.
The meaning, pretty ingenious. Is not lead a metal heavy, dull, and slow?
By no means, honest master. Or rather, master, no.
I say lead is slow.
Ah, you're too swift, sir, to say so. Is that lead slow, that which is fired from a gun?
Sweetest mock of rhetoric. He refused me a cannon, and the bullet, that's he. I shoot thee at the swain.
Thump then, and I flee.
A most acute juvenile, voluble and free of grace. By thy sweet favour, sweet welkin, I must sigh in thy face. Most rude melancholy, valour gives thee place. My herald is returned.
A wonder, master. Here's a custard shrivelled in the pan.
Shira Costard, I will enfranchise thee.
Oh, marry me to one Francis? I smell some trick in this.
By my sweet soul, I set thee at liberty, and freedom in thy person. Thou were in me restrained, captivated, bound.
Yeah, true. And now you will be my purgative and set me loose.
I give thee thy liberty, set thee from durance, and in lieu thereof, impose on thee nothing but this. Bear this significant to the country maid Jaquenetta. There is remuneration, for the best word of mine honor is rewarding my dependence. Mouth, follow.
Like the sequel, I. Signor Costard, adieu.
Oh, my sweet ounce of nine, blessed my delicious lad. Now I will look to his remuneration. Remuneration. As a Latin word for 3 farthings. Remuneration. Freddie, what is the cost of that inkle? 1 penny. No, I will give you a remuneration. Why, that carries it. Remuneration. That's a better word than French crown. I will never buy or sell outside this word.
My good Costa, exceedingly well met.
Ah, yes, I pray your worship, how much carnation ribbon may a man buy for a remuneration?
What is a remuneration?
Why, sir, halfpenny farthing.
Why then, 3 farthings worth of silk.
I am grateful to your worship, fare thee well.
Stay, slave, I must employ thee. If thou wilt win my favour, do one thing for me that I shall entreat.
Oh, when will you have it done, sir?
This afternoon.
I will do it, sir. Fare thee well.
Well, thou knowest not what it is.
I shall know it, sir, when I've done it.
No, thou must know what it is first.
Well, I will come to your worship tomorrow morning.
No, it must be done this afternoon. Hark, it is but this. The princess is hunting the deer in the park. In her train there is a beauteous lady. When tongues speak sweetly, they name her name, and Rosaline they call her. To her hand commend this sealed up counsel. Thy guerdon, go.
Oh, sweet guerdon. That's better than a remuneration. There's 11 pence farthing better than a remuneration. I will do it, sir, in print, and fare thee well. Oh, remuneration, guard. Oh.
And I, forsooth, in love, I that have been love's whip, a very beadle to a humorous sight, a critic, nay, a night watch constable, a domineering pedant o'er the boy. Oh, my little heart. What, I love? I sue, I seek a wife? Nay, to be perjured, which is worst of all, and among the free, to love the worst of all. A whitely wanton with a velvet brow, with 2 pitch balls stuck in her face for eyes. Aye, by heaven, one that will do the deed, though Argus be her eunuch and her guard. And I to sigh for her, to watch for her, to pray for her. Go to, it is a plague sent from Cupid for my neglect of his almighty dreadful little might. Well, I will love, I will write, I will sigh, I will pray, I will sue, I will groan. Some men must love my lady, and some Joan.
Was that the king that spurred his horse so hard on the steep uprising of the hill?
I know not, but I think it is not he.
Whoever was showed a mounting mind. Well, girls, today we shall have our dispatch. On Saturday we will return to France. Then, Forester, my friend, where is the bush that we must stand and play the murderer in?
Hereby, upon the edge of yonder coppice, stand where you may make the fairest shoot.
I thank my beauty. I am fair that shoot, and thereupon thou speakest the fairest shoot.
Pardon me, madam, for I meant not so.
What? What? First praise me, and again say no? Not fair. Oh, short-lived pride, lack for woe!
Yes, madam, fair.
Nay, never paint me now, where fair is not, praise cannot mend the brow. Here, good my glass, take this for telling true. Fair payment for foul words is more than due. But come, the bow, now mercy goes to kill, and shooting well is then accounted ill. Thus will I save my credit in the shoot. Not wounding, pity would not let me do it. If wounding, then it was to show my skill, that more for praise than purpose meant to kill.
God dig a down you all. Which is the head lady?
Thou shalt know her, fellow, by the rest that have no head.
Now I mean the grandest, the highest.
The thickest and the tallest.
Thickest and the tallest. Well, truth is truth. So, and your ladyship, if our waist were as slim as my wit, I think one of these ladies' girdles would fit. Oh, you are the chief woman. You are the thickest here.
What's your will, sir? What's your will?
Oh, I have a letter here from. I have a letter here from Monsieur Baron to a fair lady of France that he called Rosaline.
Oh. Thy letter! He's a good friend of mine. Stand aside, good bearer. Boyette, you can carve. Serve up this dish.
I am bound to obey, but this letter is mistook. It importeth none here. It is writ to Jaquenetta.
We will read it, I swear. Break the neck of the wax, and everyone give ear.
By heaven that thou art fair is most infallible. True that thou art beauteous, truth itself that thou art lovely. More fairer than fair, beautiful than beauteous, truer than truth itself, have commiseration on thy heroical vassal. The magnanimous and most illustrate king it was that might rightly say, Veni vidi vici, which to anathemize in the vulgar, he came, he saw, he overcame. Overcame, he came once or two, overcame three. Who came? The king. Why did he come? To see. Why did he see? To overcome. To who came he? The beggar. What saw he? The beggar. Who overcame he? The beggar. Shall I command thy love? I may. Shall I enforce thy love? I could. Shall I entreat thy love? I will. What shalt thou exchange for rags? Robes. For tickles, titles, for thyself, me. Thus, expecting my reply, I profane my lips on my foot, my eyes on my picture, and my heart on thy every part. Thine in the dearest design of industry, Don Adriano de Almar.
What plume of feathers is he that indited this letter?
I am much deceived, but I recognise the style.
Else your memory is bad, going over it a while.
This Armado is a Spaniard that keeps here in court, an eccentric fantasist, one that makes sport with the king and his bookmates.
Thou fellow, a word. Who gave thee this letter?
I told you, my lord.
To whom shouldst thou give it?
From my lord to my lady.
From which lord to which lady?
From my Lord Baron, who is a good master of mine, to a lady of France that he called Rosaline.
Thou hast mistaken this letter. Come, girls, away. Here, sweet, put up this. 'Twill be thine another day.
A very reverend sport, truly, and done in the testimony of a good conscience. The deer was, as you know, sanguis, in blood, who now hangeth like a jewel in the ear of Kylo, the sky, the welkin, the heaven, and anon falleth like a crab on the face of terror, the soil, the land, the earth. Truly, Master Holofernes, the epithets are sweetly drawn, like a scholar at the least. But I do assure you, sir, it was a buck of the first head.
Sir Nathaniel, haut credo.
It was not an old grey doe, 'twas a pricket.
Most barbarous insinuation, and yet a kind of intimation, as it were, in way of explication, or rather ostentari, to show, as it were, his inclination after his undressed, unpolished, uneducated, unpruned, untrained, or rather unlettered, or rather erst unconfirmed passion to insert again my haut credo for a deer.
I said the deer was not an old grey doe, 'twas a pricket.
Twice sod simplicity. Peace coctus. Oh, thou monster ignorance, how deformed dost thou look.
He hath never been fed on the dainties that are to be found in a book. He hath not eat paper. He hath not drunk ink, as it were. His intellect is not replenished. He is a mere animal, sensible only in the duller parts. And such barren plants are set before us, that we thankful should be, which we of taste and feeling are, for those things that do fructify in us and not in him. And as it would ill become me to be vain, indiscreet, or a fool, so it would set a patch against nature to see him in a school.
You two are bookmen. Can you tell me by your wit what was a month old at Cain's birth that's not 5 weeks old as yet?
The moon! The moon was a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not to 5 weeks when he came to 50. The illusion holds in the exchange.
'Tis true, the collusion holds in the exchange.
God comfort thy capacity. I say the illusion holds in the exchange.
And I say the pollution holds in the exchange, for the moon is never but a month old. And I say beside that 'twas a pricket that the princess killed.
Sir Nathaniel, will you hear an exemplar epitaph on the death of the deer, and to humour the ignorant, call I the deer the princess killed a pricket?
Proceed, good Master Holofernes, proceed, so it please you to abrogate scurrility.
I will something affect the letter, for it argues facility. The prayful princess pierced and pricked a pretty pleasing pricket. Some say a saw, but not a saw till now made saw with shooting. The dogs did yell, put L to saw, and Sorel jumps from thicket. Or pricket saw, or else Sorel, the people fall a hooting. If saw be saw, then L to saw makes 50 saws of Sorel. Of one saw I 100 make by adding but one more L.
A rare talent!
It is a gift that I have. Simple. A foolish, extravagant spirit full of forms, figures, shapes, objects, ideas, apprehensions, motions, revolutions. These are begot in the ventricle of memory, developed in the womb of Piamater, and delivered upon the mellowing of occasion.
I praise the Lord for you, sir, and so do my parishioners, for their sons are well tutored by you, and their daughters profit very greatly under you. You are a good member of the Commonwealth.
Aye, Hercules, if their sons be engineers, they shall want no instruction. If their daughters be capable, I will put it to them. No. Here, say qui papa loquitur. A soul feminine saluted us.
God give you good morrow, Master Person.
Master Person, quasi pierce one. And if one should be pierced, which is the one?
Why, marry, Master Schoolmaster, he that is likest to a hog's head.
Piercing a hog's head. Well, here's a good lustre of conceit in a tuft of earth. Fine enough for a flint, pearl enough for a swine. 'Tis pretty, it is well.
Good Master Parson, be so good as to read me this letter. It was given me by Costard and sent me by Don Armando. I beseech you, read it.
As Horace says in his, what, my soul, verses?
I, sir, very learned.
Let me hear a staff, a stanza, a verse, legge domine.
If love made me forsworn, how shall I swear to love? Ah, never faith could hold if not to beauty vowed. Though to myself forsworn, to thee I'll faithful prove. Those thoughts to me were oaks, to thee like osiers bowed. Study his bias leaves and make his books thine eyes, where all those pleasures live that art would comprehend. If knowledge be the mark, to know thee would suffice. Well learned is that tongue that well can thee commend, all ignorant that soul that sees thee without wonder, which is to me some praise, that I thy parts admire. Thine eye Jove's lightning bears, thy voice his dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent is music and sweet fire. Celestial as thou art, oh pardon such an earthly tongue.
You find not the apostrophus and so miss the accent. Let me supervise the canzonet. But, Mademoiselle Virgin, was this directed to you?
I served from one Monsieur Baron, one of the strange Queen's lords.
I will overglance the superscript. To the damson hand of the most beauteous Lady Rosaline. Oh. I will look again on the intellect of letter for the nomination of the party writing to the person written unto. Your ladyship's in all desired employments, Baron. Sir Nathaniel, this Baron is one of the votaries with the king, and here he hath framed a letter to a sequent of the stranger queens, which by accident or by way of development hath miscarried. Trip and go, my sweet. Deliver this paper into the royal hands of the king. It may concern much. Stay with thy compliment. I forgive thy duty. Adieu.
Good Costard, go with me. Sir, God save your life.
Have we indeed, my girl?
Sir, you have done this in the fear of God very religiously, and as a certain father.
Sir, tell me not of the father. I fear culpable colours. But to return to the verses, did they please you, Sir Nathaniel?
Oh, marvellous well by the pen.
I do dine today at the father's of a certain pupil of mine, where I will prove those verses to be very unlearned, neither savouring of poetry, wit, nor invention. I beseech your society.
Well, I thank you too, sir, for, as the text said, society is the happiness of life.
And certes, the text most infallibly concludes it. Sir, I do invite you to. You shall not say me nay. Howsoever. Away. The gentles their game, and we will to our recreation.
The king, he is hunting the deer. I am coursing myself. They have pitched a toil. I am toiling a pitch that defiles. Defile. It's a foul word. Well, sit thee down, sorrow, for so they say the foresaid. And so say I, and then I the fool. Well proved wit. By heaven, I will not love. If I do, hang me. In faith, I will not love. But for her eye, by this light, but for her eye, I would not love her. But for her 2 eyes. I do nothing in the world but lie, and lie in my throat. By heaven, I do love. And it had taught me to rhyme and be melancholy. And here is my rhyme, and here my melancholy. She hath one of my sonnets already. The clown bore it, the fool sent it, and the lady hath it. Sweet clown, sweeter fool, sweetest lady. By the world, I would not care a pin if the other 3 were in. It comes on with a paper. God give him grace to groan. By heaven, shot by Cupid, thou hast thumped him with thy bird bolt in the left pap. In faith, secrets.
So sweet a kiss the golden sun gives not the fresh morning drops upon the rose. As thy eye beams through their fresh rays have smote the night of dew that on my cheek down flows, nor shines the silver moon 1/2 so bright through the transparent bosom of the deep. As doth thy face through tears of mine give light, thou shinest in every tear that I do weep. No drop as a coach doth carry thee, so ridest thou triumphing in my woe. Do but behold the tears that swell in me, and they thy glory to my grief will show. But do not love thyself, then thou wilt keep my tears for glasses, and still make me weep. O Queen of queens, how far dost thou excel? No thought can think, nor tongue of mortal tell. How shall she know my grief? I'll drop the paper. Sweet leave, shake body. Who's you? Come here.
And I like this one more fool doth appear.
What longival and reading, listening, ear.
Ay me, I am forsworn.
In love I hope sweet fellowship and shame.
Now one drunkard loves another of the name.
Am I the first that have been perjured so?
I could put thee in comfort. There are 2 that I know. Thou makest the triumvirate, the corner cap of society.
I fear these stubborn lines lack power to move. Oh, sweet Maria, empress of my love, these numbers will I tear and write in prose.
Rhymes are guards on wanton Cupid's hose. Disfigure not his slop.
The same shall go. Did not the heavenly rhetoric of thine eye, against whom the world cannot hold argument, persuade my heart to this false perjury? Vows for thee broke deserve not punishment. A woman I forswore, but I will prove, thou being a goddess, I forswore not thee. My vow was earthly, thou a heavenly love. Thy grace being gained cures all disgrace in me. Vows are but breath, and breath a vapour is. Then thou, fair fun, fair sun, which on my earth doth shine, exhalest this vapour thou. In thee it is. If broken then, it is no fault of mine. If by me broke, what fool is not so wise to lose an oath, to win a paradise?
This is the liver vein that makes flesh a deity, a green goose a goddess, pure idolatry. God amend us, God amend. We are much out of the way.
By whom shall I send this company? Stay.
All hid, an old infant play, and here sit I like a demigod in the sky, watchful of fools' secrets are I. More sacks to the mill, oh, I have my wish, domain transformed, 4 woodcocks to the dish.
On a day, alack the day, love, whose month is ever May, spied a blossom passing fair, playing in the wanton air. Through the velvet leaves the wind, all unseen, can passage find, that the lover, sick to death, wish himself the heaven's breath. Ere, quoth he, thy cheeks may blow, ere would I might triumph so. But alack, my hand is sworn ne'er to pluck thee from thy fawn. Vow, alack, for youth unmeet, youth so apt to pluck a sweet. Do not call it sin in me that I am forsworn for thee. Thou for whom Jove would swear Juno but an Ethiop were, and deny himself for Jove, turning mortal for thy love. This will I send, and something else more plain that shall express my true love's fasting pain. Oh, but with the king Barone and Longueville were lovers too. Ill to example ill would from my forehead wipe a purging note, for none offend where all alike do dote.
Dumaine, thy love is far from charity. You may look pale, but I should blush, I know, to be overheard and taken napping so.
Come, sir, you blush. As is such his case, you chided him offending twice as much. You do not love Maria? Longueville did never sonnet her sacred pile, nor never lay his wreathed arms athwart his loving bosom to keep down his heart. I have been closely shrouded in this bush, and marked you both, for you both did blush. I heard your guilty rhymes, observed your fashion, saw sighs reek from you, noted well your passion. Ay me, says one, oh Jove, the other cries. One, her hairs were gold, crystal, the other's eyes. You would for paradise break faith and troth, and Jove for your love would infringe an oath? What will Barone say when that he shall hear face so infringed, which such zeal did swear? How will he scorn? How will he spend his wit? How will he triumph, leap, and laugh at it? For all the wealth that ever I did see, I would not have him know so much by me.
Ah, my good lord, I pray thee, pardon me, good heart, what grace hast thou thus to reprove these worms for loving so? In your eyes there are no coaches, in your tears there is no certain princess that appears. Are you not ashamed? Nay, are you not, all three of you, to be thus much o'ershot? Oh, what a scene of foolery have I seen, of sighs, of groans, of sorrow, and of teen. Oh, and with what strict patience have I sat, to see a king transformed to a gnat. Where lies thy grief? Oh, tell me, good Domain, and gentle Longueville, where lies thy pain? And where my lieges? All about the breast. A caudle, ho!
Too bitter is thy jest. Are we betrayed thus to thy overview?
Not you to me, but I betrayed by you. I that am honest. I that hold it sin to break the vow I'm engaged in. I am betrayed by keeping company with men like men of inconstancy. When will you hear that I shall write a thing in rhyme, or spend a minute's time in pruning me? When shall you hear that Barone will praise a hand, a foot, a face, an eye, a state, a gait, a brow, a breast, a leg, a limb?
Soft whither away so fast, a true man or a thief that gallops so?
I post from love, good lover, let me go.
God bless the king.
What present hast thou there?
Oh, some certain treason.
What makes treason here?
Why, sir, it makes nothing, sir.
If it mar nothing neither, the treason and you go in peace away together.
I beseech you, my lord, let this letter be read. Our parson misdoubts it was treason, he said.
Barone, read it over. Where hast thou it?
From Costard.
Where hast thou it?
From Don Amario.
How now? What is in you? Why dost thou tear it?
A toy, my lady, a toy. Thou needst not fear it.
It did move him to passion, and therefore let's hear it.
It is Barone's writing, and here his name.
You whoreson loggerhead! You were born to do me shame! Guilty, my lord, guilty. I confess. What? That he and you, and you, my liege, and I, are pick purses in love, and deserve to die. I'll dismiss this audience, and I will tell you more.
Oh, now the number is even!
True, we are four. Will these turtles be gone?
Hence, sirs, away.
Walk aside the true folks, let the traitors stay.
Sweet lords, sweet lovers, let us embrace. As true we are as flesh and blood can be, the sea doth ebb and show, heaven show his face. Young blood doth not obey an old decree. We cannot cross the cause why we were born, therefore we must all cross arms, else we be forsworn.
What? Did these Rentlands show some love of thine?
Did they quoth you? Who sees the heavenly Rosaline, and like some rude and savage man of Ind at the first opening of the gorgeous east, bows not his vassal head, and struck and blind, kisses the ground with obedient breast? What peremptory eagle-sighted eye dares look upon her bow, that is not struck and blind by her majesty?
What zeal, what fury hath inspired thee now? My love, her mistress, is a gracious moon. She, an attending star, scarce seeing the light.
My eyes are no eyes, nor I own. Oh, but for my love, day would turn to night. Lend me the flourish of all gentle tongues. Fie painted rhetoric, she needs it not. To things of a sale, a seller's praise belongs, and her praise passes praise, and praise too short doth blot. A withered hermit, 50 winters worn, may shake off 50, looking into her eyes. Beauty doth varnish age, as if newborn, and gives the crutch, the cradle's infancy. Oh, 'tis the sun that maketh all things shine.
By heaven, thy love is black as ebony.
Is wood like her, oh ebony divine? No face is so beautiful that is not so full black.
Oh, paradox! Black is the badge of hell, the hue of night, the suit of dungeons.
Oh, if in black my lady's brows be decked, it mourns that passing usurping phrase that should ravish doters with a false aspect. Her beauty changes the fashion of these days. Therefore red, that would avoid dispraise, paints itself black to imitate her brow.
Dark needs no candles now, for dark is light.
Your ladies fear not come in the rain, for fear their colours be washed away.
But what of this? Are we not all in love?
Nothing so terrible thereby, or forsworn.
Then leave this chat and prove our love and lawful, and our faith not torn.
Aye, marry there, some flattery for this evil.
Oh, some authority how to proceed, some tricks, some quinettes how to cheat the devil.
Some salve for perjury.
Have at you then. Men affections at arms, consider what you did first swear unto. To study, fast, and to not see women. Flat treason against the kingly state of youth. For where would you, my liege, or you have found the ground of studied excellence without the beauty of a woman's face? For wisdom's sake, a word that all men love. For love's sake, a word that loves all men. Or for men's sake, the author of these women. Or for women's sake, by whom we men are men. We must lose our oath to find ourselves, or else lose ourselves to keep our oath. It is religion to be thus forsworn. And who can sever love from charity?
St. Cupid then and soldiers to the field!
Advance your standards, pell-mell down on them, but be advised to keep the grace of the sun in their eyes.
Now to plain dealing, lay these glozes by. Shall we resolve to woo these girls of France?
And win them too. Therefore, let us devise an entertainment for them in their tents.
Let every man hither to his lady's hand. Then, this afternoon, we shall solace them with masks, dances, revels, and many hours, strewing fair love's way with flowers.
Away, away, no time to be omitted that will become and may us be fitted.
Allons, so cock will reap no corn, and justice always whirls in equal measure. If so, our copper buys no better treasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a 15-minute interval. Thank you.